What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Grant.
And I'm Gabby.
And we are the G Team. Once again, we're so sorry that we couldn't get a video out last week. We've been so busy with stuff going on with school and midterms and everything else, but we're glad to have another video back out. This week we're going to be in 1 Chronicles chapter 15, and we'll go ahead and dive right in.
Yeah, like Grant said, 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verses 28 and 29. So I'm just going to go ahead and read. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of cornet, and with trumpets and with cymbals, making a noise with psalteries and harps. And it came to pass, as the ark of the covenant of the Lord came to the city of David, that Michal, the daughter of Saul, looking out at a window, saw King David dancing and playing, and she despised him in her heart.
Now would be a good time to pause the video, pray, and ask God to work in your life through this devotion. So jumping right into point number one, we just kind of want to establish a foundation for what's going on. Obviously, there's a story to what's going on here, but we just focused on the two main verses that we're going to be talking about today. But what's happened is the Ark of the Covenant, which is obviously one of the most sacred earthly items that they had in the Old Testament, has been brought back. And that was a cause for celebration, and that was something to be excited about, and that's why you see the dancing and playing that King David was doing. So that's just kind of a brief foundation of what's going on here.
Yeah, and like Grant said, David was, this was a celebration. David was so happy that this was being brought back. But Michal, which was Saul's daughter, was looking out the window. She saw David and how happy he was, and she had such a wretched heart that she just despised him for it. And that's what people do today when they see Christians who are happy and, having all these good things happen in their life because of their relationship with God and trusting in Him and following in His will. And people just despise us. They don't want to see us happy. They don't want to see us grow because they aren't in the right path with God.
And that just goes to prove that our joy has to be found in God and in His Son Jesus Christ. Because if we use other people as the basis of our joy, we are always going to be disappointed. People are always going to come up short of our expectations, and that's just a fact. Even people that we love dearly, family members, friends, everyone's going to disappoint you at some point because we're all humans. The only person who will never disappoint you is Jesus Christ. And this just shows us how our joy cannot be contingent upon people and upon earthly things. Happiness is circumstantial. Happiness is what you feel when you get a raise or when you get a promotion, when you get a new vehicle. That's happiness. And as you know, that wears off eventually. Joy is permanent, and joy is found in your heart through Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And, finding that joy comes from not only trusting in God and having God in your heart, but also not praising people in their downfall. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we did a devotion. But we have to uplift others, especially as a Christian family. Your brothers and sisters in Christ, you shouldn't be, praising their downfall. You should be uplifting them in everything. Something good happens in their life, you should congratulate them on that. You should be always helping them grow, and that therefore you'll grow in yourself.
Yeah, and that just goes to show what the main point of this week is. And just like the title says, the misery of a critical heart. Now, imagine how miserable it is to sit around and just to criticize people and to try to look for people's faults and to try to make people sound bad. I mean, that's what a lot of people spend their entire lives doing. And it's just a miserable life. And it's just something for you to keep in mind this week. Not to have a critical heart of others, to uplift each other and to be happy for one another, and to use Jesus Christ for your joy and no one else. Because, like we said, everyone else will disappoint you. If Jesus Christ is the source of your joy, you're going to live
disappointed.
Yeah, you're going to live a much joyful life compared to what you did before. So that's all we have for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, I'm Grant.
And I'm Gabby.
And we are the G Team.
And don't forget, do your best and let God do the rest.